Hi guys, it's Katie here again from Creativa, and we are working on our Broderie mini album that we have created using the Broderie SVG files. If in case you don't know, SVG files are scalable vector graphic files that you can download or upload to your cutting machine and use them to cut out the pieces to make the mini album. And you can do that with cutting machines like the Cricut, the Silhouette, the Butter Scanner Cut, those sorts of cutting machines. So here's the album we've been working on, and we have so far done all the pages, and now I'm going to do some inserts today. So here we are at this stage. We have all these pretty little pages, but we don't have any inserts in anywhere. So all that's left to do is do the inserts and then embellish the covers, and also inside do a little bit of embellishing as well. So to start with, I thought I would make some couple of cute little glassine bags. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs barking in the background. So I've made a couple. I've cut out a couple. I've cut out two of these E4 pieces. They're pockets. So just to remind you, is they're in my little book of all of the files that you get in the Broderie SVG package. The blue ones represent the actual pieces themselves, and the pink ones are the mats that go on them. But to make these little bags, we're just cutting these pieces straight out. So I've cut out two of these E4s to make a little bag, and then I have also cut out two of these F2s to make a little bag. So we've got two of those there ready to go. So I have, what I've done is, I should say, I'm using a digital collection by Knitwits. And the one that I'm using, I don't think it's a very recent one, but I like it. It's called Knitwits Collection Always and Forever. And I just print the whole thing out in wallet size so I can see what all of the bits of paper designs are like, and also all of the ephemera pieces. If I want to cut them out on my Cricut, I can see what they look like straight away just by looking at my little printouts here, and then I just store them away in a file. So I'm using that one, and I have also been using, to make the actual pages of the album themselves, this cardstock, which is by Recollections, and it's £65, 176 GSM in cream, although I have pretty much run out. So I've also used some other random bits of cardstock that I had in my stash. But let's just go back to these. So what I did was I printed out one of the designs from the Knitwits collection papers onto this tracing paper. So I just ran it through my my printer, and it's come out like this, and it's, I don't know if it's meant to, I think it's meant to look a little bit messed up, well, not messed up, but distressed, and I really like it like that, so I went with it. And then I have cut out two of the E4 pieces. These are the E4s, two little pockets, and on my cutting machine it's also done the score marks for me. And then these are two of the, what did I say? F2, I think. Yeah, two of the F2s. So they're these long ones here. And so they look kind of like little glassine bags, which I thought was quite cute. So what I'm going to do is trim off some of these tabs that I don't need. So my Cricut's put a score line on there, but instead of folding it over, I'm just going to trim that off. So I've just got out my cutting tool here. So the beauty of these SVG files is this is the only cutting that I have to do, and I really don't need to do any measuring at all because everything has been sized already so that they all the pieces fit together. So no cutting guides, just work out how you'd like to use the pieces, and you can use them all sorts of ways. They're very versatile. Okay, so we've got one piece like this, and then this one here, I'm just going to cut off this one tab down the side here. So I'm just lining up that score line, which is a little bit difficult to see. Cut that one off. Right, so I've got one piece that looks like this with a side flap and a bottom flap, and one piece that just has a side flap on that one, and I'm going to do exactly the same on this one. So on this one I need to cut off the top and bottom flaps, or the two short side flaps. So I'll just line it up and trim them off. And that one. And so the other thing about these SVG files is that you can resize them, so you can make the pieces as big or as small as you'd like them to be. And we're just going to leave that one like that, so with a bottom tab and that long side tab. So that's all the trimming that we need to do. Yeah, so you can resize all of the pieces to make them any size that you'd like, and if you resized all the pieces together, then you could make a much larger album. So the one that we're making at the moment is 7 inches by 7 inches, and the pages themselves are just a touch bigger than 6 inches, which means that I could cut the mats for this size album, which is the way it comes when you download it, from a 6-inch paper pad. And I probably have one here. 6-inch paper pad. I'm supposed to just whip one out. There we go. So you can see I can cut out my mat from this. This is actually 6.5 inch, which means I've got a little bit on either side, which is really good for the cutting machine because you need to have a little gusset. Right, so but if I took all of the files together and you know, resize them, then I could make a big album, or I could make a little album. But right, let's go back to here. So let's start with these long ones, and I have already folded this over and just pressed it with my bone folder, and I have also inked up the edges with the Distress ink by Tim Holtz in Vintage Photo, and I'm just going to do the same along the edges that I've just trimmed, so it doesn't look funny. Probably don't need to do this edge, but I will anyway. Why not? And I'll do the same with this one. And down the bottom. And I probably could have done that at the end because I have some scissors here. You know, these are these sort of decal-y scissors, and these ones have got this pattern on them, sort of a regular pattern. So what I'm going to try and do is just trim down the side of this tab here so that it has a sort of a wonky edge, you know, like you get with paper bags and glassine bags. So I'm just going to trim down the edge there as best I can. My dog's going off out there. You can't leave them alone for a minute. I don't want to put them outside though because it's so hot here today. So that's those ones. Oh, and this bit outside here. Okay. I'm just going to trim down the edge there. Right, so that's those two pieces. I've got the air conditioner on. It's blowing everything around. So it's 38 degrees Celsius here today. So we certainly don't have cold Christmases down here in the southern hemisphere. They're always stinking hot. I'll get rid of these bits. And then this one here. So I think 38 degrees Celsius is, I don't know, about 100 Fahrenheit, something like that. Anyway, it's too hot to be outside, and it's been like this for at least a week now. so I'm a little bit over it. So I'm just distressing along here as well. I'll just do it all the way around. So when it's hot like this, the best thing to do is just to go and hide in the craft room and get creating. That's my theory anyway. And should I do along the top? I might do that at the end, so that I can do hopefully both edges at the same time. So I won't ink up that edge because, oh, I will just in case. Right, and then along this little deckled edge here, and this one here. Oop, don't blow away, and then this one as well. It's hard to hold on to this tracing paper. Okay, I might need that again, so I'll just put it to the side. And now I'm just going to glue them together, but normally we would fold the tabs over and hide them. You know, we'd stick them down and you wouldn't, you know, like this, and you wouldn't see them. But this time we're going to stick them down so that the tabs are actually on the outside. And then we have that little decal edge there, just like you might have with a glassine bag or a paper bag. That's my theory. So I'm just using this Helmar's Quick Dry Adhesive 450, and I am really trying to use up all my random bits of glue that I have left over in bottles, which is pretty much why I'm using this one, but it won't come out. So I'm just going to put some glue along that tab. And then lay this piece on top of there and line it up with that score line, so just like so. And then I'm going to do the same with this tab, put a bit of glue along there. And I'm going to fold this one over and then fold this tab over the top of it like so. Burnish it down and then put a little glue along this bottom one. Didn't cut that very straight, never mind, and just fold that one over on top like that. I'll try to, like that. I really didn't score that very well, neither did I cut it very well, but that's okay because we're just going to come along and do that now with my bone folder and squish it down. Oh. So then we have this little bag, and I think I might trim across the top with my little decal scissors as well. I'll try and be a bit straighter this time. It's definitely easier when it's two pieces together. There we go. We need to have a cute little bag so we can, and I'll just ink around the edge. So we have this cute little bag that we've just used a couple of pocket pieces to make, and we can pop that in the album, and it can have, you know, we can put little photos or anything, you know, just something cute. Okay, and then we'll just pop that one to the side there, hopefully it doesn't blow away, and we'll do exactly the same thing with this one, which is a smaller bag again. Oh, that glue is a mess. So I'm going to attach this one this way. So just this will be a smaller bag, but just so you can see that you can do this with any of the pockets. You can make any shaped or size bag that you wanted to. A bit of glue's oozing out there. Just rub that off. And I think it wobbled when I did that. I'm just going to go. And then I put a little bit of glue on this one here too. Fold this piece over and line that up as best I can see anyway, and then fold this little tab on top to make a little pocket. Again, not very straight with my cutting. That's why I have a cutting machine, because I can't cut in a straight line. Fold that bottom one over, bunch that one down, and then I'll trim across the top of this one too. Again, trying to keep relatively straight. Not bad. Okay, and I'm just gonna distressing that little edge too. And we have two cute little bags. Isn't that cute? So I was thinking, you know, you could put a tag in here or anything you like. I have this die that I don't actually know where this one came from, but it's just like a little Polaroid die. But even if you don't have one of these, look, it's a smaller rectangle inside of a bigger rectangle. You could easily make that on your Cricut in Design Space, or I think they even have them in there anyway. But I was thinking, you know, you could cut some of those with your scraps and you could just slide it in there like that and you'd have a little photo, which is, I think, kind of cute. So let's put those to the side and we can pop those in our album. And I have also cut out some of the tags from the files. So I'll just show you quickly which tags I cut out. So there's 4 insert files and they all have the inserts like these ones here, and then they have the mats as well. So today I have only cut out the lace top ones because I wanted to show you what the feminine lacy broderie edged ones look like. So I've cut out all the some L2s, which are tiny ones, and the mats that go on those are L6. And I've also cut out this big one here, L4, which has got the lace all the way around. And then the mat for that is L8, so I've cut out some of those. I've cut out a few of these M4s and matted them with the M8. I think I've cut out an M2 and matted it with the M6. And then I have used lots of these P1s and P2s, which I've matted with the P4 and P5 pieces. And then the P3 pieces and the mats for those, the P6, are actually the side inserts, so I'll show you those as we go along. But they're all of the ones that I've cut out today to put in this album because I'm going very over the top, girly and flowery and lacy with this album. So I've already cut out a bunch of these and I matted them because you probably know how to mat a tag without me having to show you. But here's some here. So this one would be a P1, so that's the size of the P1. And this one here is a P2. So you can sort of see the size of those as they come out. So I've just cut out some of the paper and stuck it on, and I've just cut out a little circle. I think that's probably a 1/2 inch punch. It's a Fiskars punch. I might have it sitting here or I might not. And, sorry. It's this one here by Fiskars, and so I've just cut that out, and then I've cut a hole in the centre of the whole thing with your standard hole punch. One of those little guys. Put a ribbon in it. This one, so I really started running out of the paper, and even though it's a digital collection, for some reason my printer's not playing with me, so I had to get a bit creative with my inserts and my tags. So this one is just plain pink paper, and then I've stamp embossed this flower image on it, which is a Kaiser Craft stamp, but I can't remember which one. And then I've coloured it in with my alcohol ink markers, and I think it looks gorgeous. But it took forever, so that's the only one I did like that. I had best intentions, but it didn't pan out. So that's the one and only. So that's a P1, that's a P2, and then this one here is an M2, and this is just plain old copy paper, which I've stamped with this lacy stamp in gold, which you can't see a lot. I don't know if you can even see that on the screen. This is just a bit of stripy washi tape, and then these are little flowers I've cut out from the Knitwits collection. So I've just squished them up really small and cut them out on my Cricut, and then just put some diamantes on them. And this is just a flower that I had made once before that's in my stash. So those three can go in here behind this accordion pocket that we've made for the inside cover. So we'll just slide those in there. And then on this page, this is the little doors, and it just opens up. And I don't think I'm going to put anything in there. I think I'm just going to leave it just as it is, because I think it's cute just like that. So then on this page, this was the little booklet that opens out like so, and it has a little spot under here as well for a pocket. So I don't know if I made anything for that pocket. But then it flips open and we have a belly band here and a side pocket here. So I have got some inserts to go in there. So let me just grab those. So we have that big L4, which I've cut out of this sort of different coloured cardstock. This is just cream copy paper. And then again, these are some of the flowers and a little tag from the Knitwits collection. I've covered the whole thing in glossy, or the little flowers in glossy accents, because I just can't help myself with the glossy accents, and then put some diamantes on it, and that one fits perfectly in there. Then I have these two tags. So this is the P1 size tag, and this is the P2. And I have put eyelets and in both of them, and this one's got a bit of seam binding, this one's got a bit of ribbon. This one, a washi tape, a little ribbon bow, and then this is a cutout from the Knitwits collection. And this one is just some pink scrapbook paper that I have stamped and embossed with a flower, and I think that's a Kaiser Craft flower too, but I don't keep the packages that they come in, so I can never tell you where they come from, but you know, any flower would do. And you know, what you use what you've got. That's what I think anyway. Right, so that's that little page done. So we just need to get on to embellishing the actual pages themselves. So I'll just tie that a little bit up. And then this page here, we had the double corner pockets, and then it opens out and we have a little insert here. So for this page, I have some more tags. And I have got a couple here. This is a P1 and a P2, and I've shown you one of these before with the washi tape and the little cutout from the collection, which I have glossy accented. So those go in there, a bit of seam binding. And then on here I have done an M2, again some flowers from the collection with some diamantes, glossy accents because I can't help myself, and that's just going to slide in there. This one is the P1. I've cut it out on this dark sort of cardstock, and then this is just cream copy paper, and I have cut this out using a Tin Holtz die, this one here, and I've just used this one, and I've just cut that out, and then I've just stuck it straight on, and I think that looks so effective, just like that. So I'm just going to pop that one in there, like so. So that's that page filled up. This page flips out and we have this pocket here, and also I put in this, I don't think we did this on camera, but I decided that I wanted to have one of these little inserts here so that I could put something behind here and it wouldn't wobble around all over the place. So for this page I have 3 tags, P2, P1, and this is the L A4 tiny little one. So I thought I might just pop this one in here, and then these two can just go in here like this, and we have some inserts there. And this page we had already made, I did a boo-boo, surprise, I did a boo-boo, and from that boo-boo we ended up making this tag here. But when I made it, it was just matted, so I've just put a flower on there with the glossy accents and a little diamante, and then I'll just put this little bit of lace seam binding here, and that's the one that goes in here to hold that page closed. But when we open this up, it opens out both ways, and then we have this fold out here that goes both ways, so more room there, and then this big spot here. So for that one, I've done a couple of these. So this is the M2 in tag, which is, you know, quite a good size tag, and I put some eyelets here, and as you can see, it just threaded it through and then tied it up. And this is another Tim Holtz die cut that I used, and that's this one here. So I've just run my mat through the die cut machine with this thin lipped die, and that's all I've done with that, and I think that looks quite effective as well. And then I had one more of these little P1s just with the design paper on there, so they can go in there. And then this flips closed like that. This one flips up, and this one flips down. This one slides into that pocket there. And then I used that little die that I showed you before, the little slide die, this one, and I cut 2 pieces out of that, and then I used a bit of the leftover vellum to just make this little vellum. It's just, you know, just something pretty. And that's a bit of leftover vellum that I'd printed and we'd used on the first page for these doors. So I just used a little bit of that leftover vellum because I didn't want to see it go to waste. So that just sits in there like that. Okay, next page. We have this little policy envelope that flips out, and then we have these double sort of belly band with a pocket on top. So for this page, I have got a few bits and pieces. So to go in the back here, this largest pocket here, I've cut out this large L4 insert and matted it, put a little bit of washi down the side, and I cut out from the collection in glossy accents. I could say that every time, in glossy accents. So that one goes in there. This one's an M2, again some flowers from the collection and a love heart from the collection. Just some copy paper with that embossed flower on it and a bit of washi, and that one's going down here. Slides in there quite nicely. Then I have this tiny little tag. This is the L4 tag. It's just got a little love heart from the collection, and I'm just going to pop that one in there. And then in the policy envelope, I have done this little tag here, which is a P1, and I've just stamped on some copy paper and put a little bit of seam binding in, and that one fits perfectly in here. So that looks good. And close that one up. And that's that page done. Now I don't have any inserts for the waterfall because obviously there isn't anywhere to put them, so I didn't do any inserts for that page. On this page here, this is the one with the corner pocket, and then it opens out, and we have this sort of corset kind of thing going on there. I don't know, I might change that gold over to something else. I'm not digging it. So this is the L4 big one, and that just slides in here quite nicely. Like that. And then on this page, I did want to put a tag, and I've got one of these here, which again is that cutout, and I put a little bit of shimmer on there. I was just going to put it on here, and I don't have anything here to hold it with, So I've got this little paper clip and I just put a little charm on it, and the paper clip was silver and so was the charm, but I just coloured it with a bit of the Tim Holtz alcohol ink in gold, and I thought it would just be cute to try and attach it here. Oh, it left a bit of a mark on there, but I thought we would just put it on there. I could probably get that off in a minute. So that's that one there, like that. Although it's not sitting very flat, so I might have to rethink that whole thing. Let's just take that off for now and I will rethink it. It might need a jump ring in there maybe, because it's making the love hearts sit funny. It's also just put a mark on my tag, which I'm not very happy about, but I'll fix that up too. I can always cover that up or something. So then in this little front pocket I have got a little L4 with a little flower that I made, and this is a P2, which is one of the wide ones. Again, just a bit of washi down the side and a flower, and that can just slide in there like that. And maybe we'll put one of these little, let's put one of our little bags that we just made in here as well. Just tuck that in there. Cute. Alright, okay, and then for this one, these are our 2 envelopes. I haven't made anything to go in those, but they open up like so, and then these open up like that, and we have this big spot here, and I just have a couple of tags to go in there, a couple of these P2s, again with the washi, like so, and we can close those up, and these hold it closed. And then we have this page here, which has got a little pocket here and opens up, and we have that frame inside. So I think for this one I just had one little tag to just slide in that pocket there, like so. Cute. Then this page, nothing again, because we have a waterfall here again, but this is a sideways waterfall. And then on this page here we have this flip that opens out, and then a pocket, and we have this belly band here as well. So for this one I have got 3. I've got these 2 which I was going to put in here, so that's an M2 and that's a P2. This one's stamped, this one's just got a bit of washi. They're quite plain, but I think, you know, there's lots of room on there to put your photo, and you still have a little bit of decoration if you want it there. So they're going in there like that, and then this closes over, and then this is an M2 that I've just put a little stamped element on here with a bit of paper behind it, and this is the designer paper, and that's just going to slide into this belly band and keep that flap closed. And let's just stick our little tiny little bag in there as well. That's kind of cute, like that. And then I just have a few more inserts for this inside back cover, because you can, you know, it's fun. This is that big M2, and I've done absolutely nothing to that other than cutting it out and then matting it with the mat that goes with it. So I'm just going to pop that one in here, like so. And then I have an M2, again some flowers, and the L2, and they're going to just slide in there like that. Then the only other thing is we have these big ones here. These are the P3, I think. Let me just check my book. You'd think I should know. Yeah, P3, and I've matted them with the P6. And these are our side inserts. So these, I've got 6 of them, 1 for each page, and they're just going to slide into each of the pockets. And then that is our inserts done. Now we could make more, and we could make some little wallets or envelopes, all sorts of things, but we're looking pretty chockers, so I didn't want to go too crazy. So we'll just slide these in. I think they look really nice with the different colour as well, the coordinating cardstock. Just makes them stand out a bit, I think. and they just slide in there super easy. And then they're great for really big photos or lots of little ones. So I'm just going to put this last one in here. And that is all our inserts done. So we've got the 6 side inserts. So close it up and you can see it's pretty chunky now, but it's got so many inserts that we can put the photos on that it probably won't get any bigger than that. So we don't have the alligator mouth, but it just sits really quite nicely like that. Okay, so in the next video, I'm just going to do the embellishing, and I think I'll probably do a voiceover for that because, oh my goodness, embellishing takes me quite a long time and I'm a bit indecisive, and that way I can speed it up and you don't have to sit through hours and hours and me deciding, oh, where's this flower going to go? So thanks for joining me today. If you're interested in SVG files, they're called Broderie, and the link for them to my Etsy store is in the description box underneath this video. And I hope you join me again for the next video in the series. Thanks very much for your time today, everyone, and bye for now. Bye.